Do you know why you don't like the sound of your voice recorded or the photos of yourself? Hello friends and welcome to the Fifth Castle, a weekly show where we learn how to see your business through your clients' eyes and work to make it irresistible to them. My name is Arek Rainczuk and I'm coming to you from Five Castles Portrait Studio in Belgrave, Melbourne. As a photographer, I've heard it numerous times. Oh, I hate the way I look in photos, or I hate photos of myself. That made me look into the psychology of this universal phenomena. Turns out, it's simply a combination of our unrealistic self-perception, projected insecurities, and the dissonance between what we expect to look like and what we see in the photographs. The insecurities is easy. No matter how beautiful you are, there is always something that you don't like about yourself. It may be that one of your eyes is slightly bigger than the other, or something else that you think is a big deal, but literally no one else would even notice. Consider this. In a group photo, you will always find yourself first. And if that little feature of you that you don't like is visible, the whole photo is bad. Notice that you haven't looked at Jenny's uneven ears or John's tall forehead. No one else pays attention to your flaws because they're too busy focused on their own. Another thing is the fact that many of us think we are actually a little bit more attractive than we really are. An experiment was conducted where they took a photo of the subject and digitally manipulated it, making it progressively more attractive and more unattractive. Then the lineup of the variants of the original photo was shown to the subject, and turned out that most people chose the slightly nicer photo of themselves as the true representation. It's worth mentioning that the guys, on average, were more likely to do that. So it's not surprising that we're always a little bit disappointed when we see what we really look like. However, the biggest thing that makes us dislike our photos is the fact that they are true representations of how we are seen, but not how we see ourselves. It's actually a mirrored version of what you expect to see and what you are used to seeing. It is the familiarity effect that makes us like the things we see often. You look at yourself several times a day in the mirror. That's where you do your makeup and style your hair, but it is the mirror that is misrepresenting you, not the camera. The mirror shows you the mirror image of yourself, while the camera is not. Notice how selfie mode on your phone is a mirrored image, and that's why you like your selfies more than the photos your friends take of you, even with the same phone. A fun experiment was conducted where the subject was shown a set of headshots taken of them earlier. Some of them were secretly mirrored, and some of them were kept original, straight off the camera. Surprisingly, people chose the mirrored photos over the originals, simply because they represented what they were familiar with. When the same set of photographs was shown to their friends and their family, the mirrored versions weren't selected, as they were not representations of the people they knew in real life. Now look at your hands. You may think that they are identical, but are actually mirrored versions of each other. Now imagine you only had a right hand, right? And on the photos, you only saw your left one. Your brain would probably reject it because that's unfamiliar to it. The same effect comes into play when we hear our voice recorded. Don't you hate listening to yourself on tape? When we speak, the sound reverberates throughout our chest and throat and the bones in our skull, and it enhances our perception of our voice with these deep and harmonious notes that enter our ears from the inside. Bone-conducting headphones use a similar way to let us listen to music without covering our ears. You'll know what I mean when you try them out. The thing is, microphones and people around us don't pick that up. So to us, our voice recorded may sound different to what we are used to. It will sound flat and high-pitched and not as smooth as we thought. Whenever I heard a recording of myself, I used to get really surprised and kept asking, is it really how I sound? Fortunately, the more you hear your voice recorded, the more familiar it becomes, and the uneasy feeling goes away. So there you go. Just let go of the expectations and preconceptions, and you won't be bothered by your photos or voice as much. I'd like to invite you to tune in next week for the next episode of Fifth Castle, where we will be discussing the fact that your photos are not for you. If you like today's episode or have a story to share, please like and comment below, and I'll make sure I read them. Also, please subscribe, and I'll see you there.